Howdy folks, thanks for clicking on this video. Now, if you haven't already, I would actually highly recommend going back and watching the video series titled Let's Talk About Transgender People. And I would actually highly recommend doing that before looking at this video here, because it's going to cover a lot more just general content. And if you're just curious about what the deal is with transgender people, you're just jumping in, you don't really know anything about that, that's going to answer a lot of your questions, and this video here won't really make much sense without the context of that other video. So I know that you just got here and you just clicked on this video, but I think you'd be doing both of us a favor if you haven't already. Go back and check out the first video series. It's about 50 minutes long. That's the whole sum of it. You can watch it as one video, or you can watch it as a bunch of little segments, all of which are conveniently linked in the description right below this video. So I'd highly recommend checking that out. Thank you very much. This video is about my experience legally transitioning and changing my name and gender marker on all legal documents. My name is Ernie. I'm a 21-year-old transgender man, and I'm really glad that I got to do this whole experience, this whole process, because now legally I get to be a man, which is who I've always wanted to be, and that feels really nice. And now this video covers my experience getting all of these documents changed in chronological order from about 2022 through 2023. And this video also occurs during about the same time that I started medically transitioning through taking testosterone injections. So you will see my voice at the start is a lot higher, and it slowly changes, and I slowly get a little more facial hair growth, which is fun to see. Now, it's also kind of funny because before I really got good at making these kind of video journal format style videos, I didn't really know the tone that I wanted to come off with, and it starts out sounding very much like a young gaming YouTuber. You'll hear me say like, "Howdy squad, what's up gamers?" and I don't talk like that anymore, and I think that's kind of funny. You'll see that slowly go away as I get older throughout this video, which is kind of funny to see. Now, without further ado, let's hand it right on over to my 18-year-old self. Enjoy.
Howdy folks, hope you're doing well. It's your boy. It is currently August 10th, 2022. Of course, as many of y'all know, I am a trans man, and I'm currently starting some of the funkier parts of my transition, that being the legal and medical transition. First up, my legal transition. Now, for me, this pretty much just means changing my legal name, which here in Wisconsin is a good amount of paperwork, but very doable. I'd say I'd compare the workload to a week-long group project, probably for like science class, because there's so much gosh dang research that I had to do. But once I got rocking and rolling, it was just a whole lot of write your full current legal name here, write your date of birth here, make at least 2 copies of this form, etc. Overall, it was pretty chill, plus I'm 18 now, so I can do it all on my own, which is very swag. If you're looking to legally transition, I would recommend having someone else just go over the forms with you, just to like double check things, preferably an adult who has experience with reading legal documents and is fluent in government language. For instance, where it asked me to write my name, but it didn't specify if it should be my current legal name or the very epic, cool, awesome name that I want. So my dad and I just sort of dealt with those on a case-by-case basis. Next, I went in person to my county clerk of court's office to deliver the papers, which was really chill. The courthouse was very easy to navigate, and I've never been there before, so it was kind of neat. Dude there just stamped some stuff, took some of the papers, that's why you're supposed to make multiple copies, then assigned me a judge and case number. I haven't yet heard back from the judge about when my court case is gonna be, so I reached out to them via text. They'll get around to it eventually, no worries. Once I have that info, I'm supposed to send it to a newspaper company so they can print it for a bit, which is pretty sick. One thing to keep in mind is that this process is more expensive than I thought. Just the initial sending forms to the county clerk of court's office was $164.50. Plus, there's other costs for printing it in the newspaper, which is mandatory. I really wanted to change my legal name so that I stopped getting dead named at all these formal, cool places. Like, I went to vote yesterday for the first time, which was dope, but they used my dead name, which was not dope. Plus, a lot of stuff at school uses my legal name for some reason, so I'm really excited to get that all fixed up. Howdy folks. Ooh, my hair looks a little bit funky today. What I'm doing right now is I am mailing off the thing that the court finally got back to me with. It was a copy of the court ordered name change. They got a name for that little form that I filled out, and they sent me back a copy that now they want me to send to a publishing company, and it differs like county to county, all that stuff, on exactly what publishing company you need to send it to. So I just checked the internet for that. That's pretty straightforward, and they wanted me to send that with a check of $85. So to answer the question previously, that's how much that is going to cost. And one thing to note is it took me a lot longer than they said to get that back to me, and I don't think I live like that far away, so like the mailing probably shouldn't have taken that. I really don't. I don't know, but that's okie dokie. I'm a chill dude. I think they said that it would take like within a couple days, and it's been like I think 3 weeks, so just keep that in mind. But they scheduled the court date for the name change thing, and it's just gonna be a Zoom call, and they say like less than 10 minutes, so that's super sick. And they decide what time it's gonna be, so hopefully you have a flexible schedule. You can fit a quick little 10-minute thing in, but it's like more over a month from now, so it'll be easy to work around that for me. So yeah, here we go down my long driveway, gonna mail it away. Here we go up to the mailbox. Okie dokie. Yo, what's up? This is kind of funky. This is 1 week on T, and I just got off of the Zoom court meeting where I legally changed my name. Dude, it was awesome. I didn't even know you could like do Zoom court. It was super chill. It took like just a couple minutes, and now it's official. They just asked like if I was a resident of like the place that I am, and I was like, yeah. They asked if I was an adult. I'm like, yeah. They asked if I was on any sex offender registry lists and if I had ever like done a felony and stuff, and I was like, no, definitely no. They asked like what my current legal name was, and I said that, and they asked what they wanted my name to be, and I said that, and then they were like, sick, bro, you got it. I mean, they said like the fancy court legal stuff. They didn't say like sick, bro. But dude, it was cool. I got the official notice, the proof of publication from the newspaper that said that they like published this stuff in the news. They finally sent that to me, and I sent it to the court in like a PDF, and they were able to see that. I sent it first in like a regular phone photo, like an HECIC or whatever that kind of file type is, and they can't do that. They like a PDF apparently. So yeah, once you get that, send it to the court in a PDF, and that's pretty much it. So now I have to go and like get a piece of paper that like says something from the county clerk of court's office or whatever, and then dude, like I'm good to go. Like my legal name is changed. I'm good. I'm also working on changing my legal name with like the passports and the driver's license, and it is a mess. I think it's probably like at least as much work as getting the regular name change thing done. It's ridiculous. A lot of the stuff online is like kind of incorrect, and the forms don't really make sense. Like for example, there's a lot of sections where it says like fill out your gender, and it's like male or female, and that's not what that is. And I don't know if it wants it to be like the biological one or like the other, like the one that I am, or like it's a friggin' mess. And I'm sorting it out. I'll tell you how it goes once I've sorted it out, but it's not sorted out yet. And then also another tricky thing is with the driver's license specifically, it also asks that question. and I don't know what to put there. I asked like my doctors about it, because they probably know, because the issue is, like, if hypothetically, I don't plan on this happening, but if hypothetically I'm in a car accident and I'm like rushed to the hospital and I'm unconscious or something, they're gonna like look at my driver's license and be like, all right, what's the deal with this dude? And because, biologically, like, just medically, stuff is different, male and female, so I don't know what like the deal is with that. And another thing, I went to the county clerk of court's office to get, like, they have some copies of the official documents that say like the legal name change stuff is good. The website is not updated for that. I mean, you can do it, but it's not at the room that it says it is, and it's also not the form that it says it is. But the people there were really nice, and they were like, yeah, that's wrong, but like, we know what you came here for. So they sorted it all out. And there is like an additional charge for that stuff. I think I had 3 copies. I think it was like $18 or something like that. But it was pretty chill. The passport, though, for renewing the passport, that I think it's like $300 some or something, which is a lot, but it's the same amount of money that you would use to just renew your passport regularly, which you might have to do anyhow, which is in my case as well, because it expires in a couple months. So that's very convenient. If only I could figure out what to do with this paperwork. So that's pretty much the tea with the tea and that legal stuff, bro. Yeah.
Howdy, folks. It's been a gosh dang busy day. It is a weekend, but I spent the entire day doing college application and also changing the name on my passport, which are 2 things that don't sound that hard, but oh boy, oh golly gosh diggity dang, that sucked the life out of me. I think they were probably about equal. Is like a comparison of like how much work that was, and I only applied to 1 college, so it's not that bad, but just, the whole day it's like, oh my goodness. But it's good how it worked basically with the passport. Of course, college, you can scooch over to another video for that. I'm not covering that passport name change stuff. That was pretty chill. Found out I filled out the entire wrong form last time, so I filled out another one, which to me seemed the same form, but I don't know. I don't make the rules. They say that they want you to bring, like, the passport, like a proof of residence, like the old passport, and also like another identification thing. I'll just do my driver's license along with like a photocopy of those. Basically, it's the exact same steps that you would do to like renew your passport. But the only things that is additional to that is you are also supposed to bring like proof of like the court order thing, showing like your name change, which is why I stopped by the county clerk of court's office and got extra copies of that. Thinking ahead, look at me freaking go. And also, I believe that cost $225.
I changed my name and all of the school stuff and like pronouns and everything, but teachers, I get it, I respect it, they're busy, they're dealing with so much stuff. So some of my teachers, I'm not gonna say names, but they misgendered me in my report cards, which is whack, because like everyone knows that I'm trans. I've been out for like, gosh dang, over 2 years now, so I don't know, I'll hop on the train, bro. But I figured if it happened to me, it probably happened to a bunch of other people too. So I lead my school's activism club and also the sexuality and gender equality club, so I was posting a bunch of stuff on the Instagram last night. I was like, hey, if you guys got misgendered or dead named on your report cards, let me know and we can do a project with that, of course in collaboration with the teachers. It's a loud airplane, I don't know if you guys can hear that, just to help out other folks. And I think that's important regardless of where you are on your trans journey, if that's what you're doing, because it feels good to help other folks, and I wish there were other folks to help me, but now I get to do that, which is very cool.
Howdy, folks. This is my voice 2 months and a week on T. It's all good. Finally changed my name with the Social Security Administration. They say that I'll get a new card in the mail in 2 weeks, but they say it'll probably get there in like 5 days, which is super sick. I finally figured out how to do it with the form and the printing out and everything. I think the worst part of the process was waiting in line at the Social Security Administration, because there's like only 1 office in my entire city. So as you would imagine, I was there for like 2 hours, and that was a short wait. But they have seats in there, and there's a photo of Joe Biden on the wall, and that's pretty much it. I just sat there. But dude, it was chill. Definitely I recommend getting there earlier in the morning because I actually went there last night. I thought it would be a fine time. I got there at like 2 p.m. and they were like, yeah, you're probably not going to get a chance to do it today because they close at 4 and there's just too long of a waiting period. So they recommend getting there as early as possible. I got there at 9:30. They open at 9. So just for reference, it's going to take a while. But yeah, it was chill once I got there. It was a little whack. The person, well, not like whack, but like it was just like, huh? But the person there was like, yeah, because like on the form, you can select like if you want to change your gender as well from M to F or F to M, because those are genders. They were like, okay, so it used to be a lot harder to do that, but now it should be easier. And they were like double checking that they needed to like just do that, or if there was like a separate form, because on their website it said that you just check a box and there wasn't a separate form that you needed to fill out, and it was good, so they checked it out. So if the person at your Social Security Administration knows what they're doing, like-minded, who is very cool, very chill, then you should be just fine and dandy. So they sent me a receipt that basically just said, hey, this is what's gonna happen, and it updates in their facility like overnight. So dude, that's chill. And the reason that I needed to get the Social Security thing updated was because you need to have that at least 48 hours before you can go to the DMV to get the new driver's license. And my mom didn't want to, because like my health insurance is through my mom's work, she didn't want to contact HR and have that like my name and like the medical system changed until I had my driver's license changed. So it's sort of like a slow process. Like you get one done, then you can advance to the next level and the next level and the next. What's up, gamers? This is my voice. 2 months and 1 week and 5 days on T? Yeah, we're gonna say that's correct. Dude, I'm at the DMV right now, and I just changed my name on my driver's license. It was super chill. Dude, I'm really getting the hang of these government forms, man. Like, I'm getting in the swing of it. Generally, once you figure out how to do it, they definitely get easier, which is nice. I think some of the information that they usually have is, of course, your legal name. They'll ask sometimes for like your former legal name or like the name that appears in your birth certificate, social security number. Some of them ask for like the driver's license number. The passport one, of course, asks for the passport number. Generally just some variation of that. Sometimes they'll ask for weird stuff, like they ask for like my mother's maiden name, and like the social security wanted to know the social security number of like my parents, and there's other little things like that. But once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of just the same information that you're plugging in for like different forms. This one was a little bit different in that the forms that I needed to give them was just another copy of the court order that I got like from the courthouse. Give them your old driver's license and they like stamp it and it says like void, but then they give you back a new piece of paper that you can basically use as a replacement driver's license, just like until the new one that's corrected with your real like legal name, the cool name, until that gets mailed to your house. The thing that I didn't know about, but fortunately, dude, my doctor already had me covered. Friggin' shout out, she's amazing. You have to get the doctor to like write a note that specifically says this guy is like socially, legally, medically, like he's a male. You should change the F to an M on his like government documents, which I think that's important because it didn't mention that you needed that on the website. It just said the reason for name change was like marriage, divorce, or other, and then if it's other, you just write it in and they assume that you know everything related to that. But I assume for marriage and divorce you don't need a note from your doctor. It's set on their website. It was a little bit confusing exactly how expensive the new license were. Like it ranged basically from $16 to $50. So hopefully a pretty doable price range for most of y'all. I was kind of unclear how much I was going to pay. So I thought it was going to be like $35 because that's like what they said for like a new license and stuff, because I thought that's what it would be. But turns out I only had to pay $16 because I guess it was just like a replacement, just like with a little correction on it, which is pretty sick. So yeah, I turned all that stuff in. They say that they're gonna mail the new driver's license to my house in 7 to 10 business days. So I'm very excited for that. What's up, gamers? It's your boy. This is my voice. I think like 2 months and 2 weeks on T, just about. Dude, it's going fantastic. First of all, shout out to the little frog on my December calendar. Look at that little dude. He's killing it. Dude, it's going great. I just changed my name in the voter registration
super easy. It was just online, that was it. And the key to be able to do that was to get the new driver's license, which I just did. It came in the mail and it looks awesome. My hair is super puffy in the photo. It's very funny, very cool. Also, I forgot if I mentioned it before, but I did get my passport in the mail. Like, that was like a while ago, like maybe even a month ago, but I just didn't mention it until now. And dude, it looks awesome too. It's so exciting to like have this stuff done, because like the great thing with the legal transition stuff is when it's done, you're good.
Howdy folks, what's up? It's your boy. It is currently January 2nd, 2024, and I have pretty much officially completed my legal transition finally. I just got a new debit card that has my correct name on it, and this was a step that I could have done well over a year ago. I just didn't because I forgot about it. So I think in general, the legal transition process can easily be completed in, within a couple months of time span generally. And obviously this is subject to change depending on how long it takes to mail things around, or as laws change from state to state, county to county, or just over time, because there's so many variables that come into that. But this is something that I think can be completed definitely within less than a year, so that's nice. And I'm good to go. That's cool. I like it. I think overall this process is about what I expected it would be. I was going into it kind of pessimistically, I suppose, just with the amount of time that I anticipated it taking. And honestly, I wouldn't say that it feels like a big rush of, woohoo, we did it at the end or anything. It's just sort of like, all right, cool, we're good. You can finally stop worrying about that, which I think is good enough. Cool. Peace out.